I've recently heard there are several benefits to nicotine patches.
So let me give you the dark side of microdosing nicotine.
The sparkling hemp CBD full spectrum seltzer drinks. But I was just curious on your thoughts about the hemp derived THC.
What's our hot take on microdosing THC?
We found out that we have high levels of radon.
Radon is a problem. It's the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States.
I'm confused about the uproar of some of the Siete changes.
What's going on? What's the tea? What's up, and welcome to the Art of Being Well. My friends, we're giving away some free healthy stuff, free supplement protocol stacks that we have at drwillcole.com. We have the Art of Being Well supplement line for different issues that we have a passion to help people with, like gut health and inflammation and hormone health and brain health, lots of different things. We're giving away those. We're giving away free telehealth consults with the clinical team and I, and free signed books. You can pick which one you want, either the protocol stacks, the signed books, or the telehealth consult. If you win, for a chance to win, head on over to Apple Podcasts and rate and review The Art of Being Well there. Tell us what you love about the show. You can leave your Instagram handle in the Apple Podcast review itself, or take a screenshot of your review and message me on Instagram at Dr. Will Cole, and then the team will go through the messages on Instagram as well as read the Apple Podcast reviews themselves. I actually read all of them, so thank you for sending them in. And then the team will randomly pick winners. We'll reach out to you. You can tell us which one you want if you win. About twice a month, we do entire episodes devoted to your piping hot health questions. You can ask about your own health goals, something you're going through. You could ask about a health trend you saw on social media, or a study that you saw in the scientific literature that you want to know the context around it. Our hot take on pretty much anything nutrition, functional medicine, science, wellness science, health sciences, we are there for you. So we want you to submit. The key word here is we want you to, because we're still getting written questions, a lot of written questions.
They're really good, which is why we have to read them.
Yes, so we're getting written questions, so thank you. But we're transitioning the Ask Me Anything. I told you a few AMAs ago. We're switching to you getting to leave me a voice message, and we will play your voice message with your question on the Ask Me Anything episodes. So to submit your questions, and look, we're still getting questions, and we'll do that, but you all love to email and not leave me a voice message. And
we want to hear your voice.
I want to hear your voice.
These
and I want to play it on the show.
These are great questions. I don't want to have to read them. I want to hear you.
Yeah, we want to hear you. So to do that, to submit your voice message question to me for the Ask Me Anything episode, go to speakpipe.com/Dr. Will Cole. That's speakpipe.com, speakpipe.com/Dr. Will Cole. So it's easy. It's so user-friendly, right?
It's extremely easy.
Yeah. So keep your questions coming in, my friends. And to help me out, every Ask Me Anything episode, it's 11:11 when we're recording this. To help me out, every Ask Me Anything episode, we have two brilliant members from my clinical team. They're functional diagnostic nutrition practitioners. We work with patients around the world, running the telehealth clinic together. Emily and Andrea, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
So I am getting, you guys told me I was going to get a little hot.
I knew you would.
And I'm going to.
Well, you have on like a blanket as a shirt.
Guys, look, my love language, one of my many love languages is Costco polar fleece.
They are ridiculously comfy, but they are also like living inside of a polar bear.
Shout out to Costco. Underneath the lights, you were right. You guys were right. My father-in-law has a special, I love Costco. My father-in-law really loves Costco. So he stocks me up.
Yeah.
On the polar fleece flannels.
We love it.
They're amazing. It's just you're under a bunch of lights and it's not conducive.
Yeah. And we talked about my drink of the show, the drink of the day.
Yeah, what is it?
You can't say it. No, they have to guess.
Well, it's really hard. It's a big white cup.
And plus, if they're listening to this, not watching this.
Exactly.
Well, this is why we want them to go to YouTube to watch our
go
video.
to YouTube. You can watch the full episodes on YouTube. That is.
If I had to guess, I would either say.
Well, you guys guess.
So your green tea is typically iced. So I'm not going to go with green tea.
Okay.
I'm going to say like an yerba mate or...
Yes, because it's sitting out on the back desk. So I'm going to say yerba mate
Wait, is that
too.
yours? I almost took some.
No, you can't have it. It was, thanks, Sam, for picking up my Costco flannel. It is a yerba mate, one of my favorite teas, without a doubt. Yerba mate.
Yeah, what's the canned one that I love?
It up. Who was in the back with me? I picked it up and I was like, I might take some of this.
You can have one.
You left it out in the back. I mean, that's common ground.
I knew
of.
we should have been. The first indicator is that it was just on a random table.
That's true. That's 100%. It was in a random place.
Yep. That's
It's
basically
like not even
my life.
where you get the tea. Like
No,
the water or anything. It was in the most random spot.
Because I'm doing a million things and I'm walking around and it just like the bag gets left where it gets left. And then I'll find it later on.
Yeah,
in the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
It's
you're,
just-
and that's actually, I like it. It's like
That
hide
makes
and go
sense.
seek for yourself.
And you have...
It does. It's a mental gymnastics.
You have a water. Do you have electrolytes today?
No, just water today.
Okay, me too. Just water. But I like my water hot.
You're weird. Room temperature water, ick.
It's so much better.
No.
I love it.
I understand the digestive implications of it. I am a water snob. I want it cold. I want it fresh.
Well, let me just say this.
Yes.
If it's for medicinal therapeutic purposes, room temperature to hot, technically is better, right?
Yeah.
But, no shame. Hydration's hydration. We're not like
Exactly.
going to say don't drink water if cold is, if your snobbery is that high.
100%.
It's that high.
It's
If you
that
ask my
high.
husband, I will
She's a
say, can
bougie
you get
water
me fresh
drinker.
water?
But I will say this.
Fresh
I don't
water.
I don't want to digress.
Wait, I'm done.
But if I'm going to have carbonated water, which I love, I don't want room temperature.
No,
in
it
that.
has to be cold.
I will be
Has to be
snob
cold.
about that because I would
Yes.
rather just pass. Just give me still water if it's going to be lukewarm.
You're right. If I had to pick anything to drink at room temperature, it would be still water, not sparkling water. It just feels like it's
Yeah.
sat out too long or something. It's just not
Yes.
right.
Stale.
I actually just
Yes.
prefer my water room temperature to hot. Like I have hot water. I don't even have a tea.
It's great from a traditional Chinese medicine standpoint, from a metabolic gut health standpoint.
It's not quite cold enough for that yet for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
right.
so let's dive into these health questions.
Wait.
Well, I have a... Were you going to say
No,
something?
I just was stopping him before he moved on.
Oh. I was
Okay.
saying I wanted to submit...
What?
Emily has a question to submit, is what
Okay.
she's trying to
I wanted
say.
to submit a question, but
Okay,
I
but go to
I
speakpipe.com/Dr.
was going to say, I didn't use SpeakPipe. Can I submit a question?
Yes, okay, fine.
Well,
Since you're here.
technically, you'd have to play it live, so it's almost exactly the same.
Yeah, Andrea
Okay.
knew because I told her I wanted to ask you about this.
Okay.
But you posted about longevity, and I think the people want to know,
About
as
long-
I want to
about
know,
longevity-
RX.
about longevity RX.
and we want to know
What
what's
does
up
this mean?
with that.
Yeah, so this is like the soft launch to this has been in beta with the telehealth patients for a while now, and now we're kind of semi-soft launching it right now. It's early days, putting it out into the world. It's a baby that I've worked on for the past 2.5 years, and it's finally out. And it is, we have the Art of Being Well supplement line that still stands. This is a separate brand, a separate supplement line that is something for the masses. Really, it's going to be something, whereas the Art of Being Well supplement line is more clinical. It's stuff that we have, the essentials, if you will. These are very effective therapeutic. The Longevity RX line is a very effective therapeutic line to support cellular health, to support cellular longevity and health span, and these pathways that we talk a lot about on the podcast, like mitophagy, mitochondrial autophagy, dealing with the sort of hallmarks of aging as science sees it today. So it's something I'm really excited about. Can you guys entertain them for a second? I can go grab a few.
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like this is exciting for me because I have known about this forever, and it felt like the best kept secret. And now we can talk about it.
I know. I'm so excited.
Patients have been hearing us behind the scenes talk about this for literal months.
Yeah. So this is the line. I think this is everything. Yeah. So you can go to drwillcole.com, go over to the shop, and then you'll see Longevity RX, and that's what we're talking about here. Telehealth patients love this stuff. So the whole we can't keep this in stock. This is sold out so many times.
This
So
is
many
the
times.
electrolyte that Emily was asking if it was in my water.
So this is cellular hydration. And it's a 1-to-1 sodium to potassium ratio, which we see great success with. And it's using whole food ingredients, things like watermelon, celery, coconut. These are very rich with something called gel water. It's like the whole food source of hydration, and Celtic sea salt, which is a really mineral-rich source of electrolytes. So this is pack. It's a wild berry flavor and cellular hydration from Longevity RX. I'll just do a quick little haul. Is this considered a haul?
Yes, I love it.
This is a haul.
Longevity
Oh my
RX
gosh,
haul.
is this your first haul ever?
This is my first haul, at least publicly. Stem cell protein. Oh, man, this stuff is like rich and creamy because we use chicken bone broth and chicken marrow. We're using beef protein isolate. We're using regenerative organic bovine heart and regenerative organic bovine liver and regenerative organic bovine kidney. So you'd think, okay, man, this is going to be gnarly. What are you talking about? A bone broth, marrow, and
so
organ
good.
meat.
It's so good.
Chocolate. We have
Yum.
vanilla. It is like packed with protein. You get 20 grams of protein per serving, but you get these healthy fats and these healthy mineral-rich, nutrient-dense sources of organ meats. You wouldn't know it. It's like drinking a chocolate milkshake. Again, another super popular one with telehealth patients.
You don't normally put organ meats and milkshake in the same sentence, but I think it's appropriate here.
It's a way to mask it for people that are skeeved out by it. And you know how many guests, for those of you that listen to the podcast, how many guests would I say, what's the most disgusting food that you eat? And that you still do for its nutrient density.
Yeah.
People say organ meats 7 out of 10 times.
I would say that, yeah.
But most people say, I don't like it. This is a way to get it if you don't like it.
Yes.
That's called stem cell protein.
Yeah.
And then we have the mitomultiply, which is another super popular one. It's methylation support. It's mitochondrial cellular energy support. We use regenerative organic organ meats with methylated B vitamins. So it is awesome for people that have higher homocysteine levels, which is a biomarker that we run for telehealth patients to get it down using nutrient-dense whole foods and fermented B vitamins, which enhances their bioavailability. So the sourcing of this is very intentional, using the best of the best ingredients for its utilization, and is it going to do what it says it's going to do? We don't want just expensive pee for people. We want like something that's really going to move the needle on how you feel, how you look, and your labs. This is born out of our clinical experience over the years. Mag-18, again, another whole food magnesium complex, if you will. There's 18 different forms of magnesium in here. It's called Mag-18, and we combine it with vitamin D3, K2. So these are honestly the most common nutrient deficiencies, magnesium and vitamin D3. You can solve the magnesium deficiency and the vitamin D3 deficiency and the vitamin K2 deficiency with just one serving of the Mag-18. And it's from whole food sources as well. So things like spirulina is used for these minerals and vitamins that are deficient. Am I going too fast?
No,
we love it.
We have so many questions to get to.
No,
So
you're doing a
wanna,
great job for your first haul.
Oh, thank you. And then the last is Live 120. So the story behind Live 120 is in the Bible. The Bible says that Moses lived to 120 years old and still had thriving health. It talks about how his eyesight was not weak, I think is the reference point. So we named it this because of this concept of sort of ancient titans that lived a long, thriving life, and adding life to your years and not just years to your life. And that's sort of the intention behind the Longevity RX line. And Live 120, I think, is like at the center of that concept. And it's a cellular superfood. So we combine the ingredients by color. So you can get all these phytocompounds that are very unique and rare. And we kind of searched the globe. But what's the most exciting nutrient-dense botanical herb superfood that the modern Westerner is not getting in their diet at all? And we put it in Live 120.
Yeah, I love this one. It tastes so good.
It's a
it's one of my faves.
pomegranate goji flavor. It's a powder. So it's like the new era of greens powder to me. It's red, it's not green, and it's rich with these flavonoids. It's rich with these polyphenols, and it's something I'm really excited about. But like, there's a super reds blend that has things like beet and goji and pomegranate and red algae and tart cherry and shishandra and panic ginseng. These are regenerative organic compounds too. Anthocyanins, this is blue, purple, and black. We have red currant, elderberry, regenerative organic, fermented blue turmeric, which I actually went to the regenerative organic farm and like picked these. And have you ever bit into a blue turmeric?
No.
I hadn't until this moment.
What?
And to go to the farm where these things are grown is just such a cool experience to be a part of it. And then the immune support blend, which is white, yellow, and orange, which we have things like lion's mane and reishi. So think a lot of the functional mushrooms and royal jelly extract, some of my favorite bee compounds, like the bee superfoods that you always hear me talking about. It's in Live 120. So I'm so excited about this and the whole line. So anyways, It's soft launch now. So just like, we're just taking it easy. And this is, our main focus is the telehealth clinic, but it's something we're doing on the side to give people quality things that's going to really impact how they feel and move the needle, and not just add to their supplement graveyard, but really be the go-to line to amplify how they feel, to take how they feel to the next level.
Absolutely. And I just want to point out for the Live 120, because anytime I hear something that has the word beet in it, I will eat almost anything, like how some people are weird about organ meats. I think beets taste like dirt. And so I'm automatically put off from stuff like that. This does not. It is not like your normal greens powder that you think of.
It's so good.
It's really, really good.
And
I'm
it's
not just
fun.
saying that.
It's like it's not a pretty color.
I actually love giving these to patients because it's one of those things I don't have to worry about them sending me an email or giving the office a call and being like, this is not palatable. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that
so
about
good,
any of the things in this line.
Yeah. So you can check it out again at drwillcole.com, head to the shop. And also if you want to go and directly to Longevity RX, go to trylongevityrx.com. Again, that's just trylongevityrx.com, and follow us on Instagram on the Longevity RX handle as well. And give us some love there as we soft launch this new endeavor.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me ask a question, and thanks to my question wingman for
that's the
making
last
sure I could ask it.
That's the last non-speak pipe question I'm going to answer. I'm
Come
done.
on. No,
I'm
we
done.
have some others.
Along those lines, I do have one I have to read. So I want to point out, just to reiterate, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but these are great questions. They're just coming in written form. Hillary, I would have loved to have heard from you. So if you want to go back and throw in another one into SpeakPipe, I'd love it. But it was
Come
a
on,
good
Hillary.
one. Yeah, Hillary
No
C.
lashings today.
No,
next time.
Next time.
This is your final warning, Hillary.
So Hillary C. said, "Hi, Dr. Cole and crew. I'm confused about the uproar of some of the Siete changes, specifically the fermented flaxseed. Some influencers in the hormonal health space say it increases estrogen levels to a degree we should be worried about. I thought flax was good. Can you explain?"
Yeah. Okay, the uproar about Siete chips. What's going on? What's the tea on the grain-free tortilla chips? What's the crunch?
I love Siete, so I want to be gentle.
So here's the deal. I got to have dinner years ago in Arizona in the desert with the Siete family, and it's like some of the nicest people, and I'm so freaking proud of them. Look, people can naysay and be contrarians about the fact that they had that acquisition from PepsiCo. I think as long as the integrity of the brand maintains and they don't cut corners, they don't erode what they've built, which is a good quality product, alternative, better for you alternative for people. I'm all for it. They sold Siete to PepsiCo for $1.2 billion with a B.
Go them.
Yeah.
Go them.
Go
Look, they built
Siete
something from the ground up. That's like the American spirit. I think that's a beautiful thing.
And it was a family too, which makes it really special.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the deal? Like, are Siete chips not good anymore? Were they ever good to begin with? So they're a great grain-free option for people that have problems to corn tortillas. Like the traditional tortilla chips, they're a great cassava flour. Isn't that what they use?
Yes.
Yeah. Because they do have corn options now, but you're talking
you're
about
right.
the
And they have potato chips. They have something for everything. They started as a grain-free option. Now that you're right,
Yeah,
they have
they've expanded. Yeah,
they've expanded. So the question was the recipe change around fermented flax seeds. Is that what it is? Okay, so I did some digging on this. I couldn't find any research or announcement from PepsiCo or Siete as a brand that talked about fermented flax seeds. But there was a recipe change that did adjust bring in flax seeds, not fermented flax seeds. So if you know something I don't know, Heather, is that her name?
Hillary.
No, Hillary, sorry.
Come on.
See, if you would have submitted your question to speakpipe.com/Dr. Will Cole, I would have remembered your name. So what did they add? They added flax seeds, and they added berry extract and oregano extract as a natural preservative to maintain freshness. All pretty basic.
Yeah, those are things that are in our health products.
Yeah, if you're talking about packaged, like minimally processed, healthier for you options, those are the type of natural preservatives you would use. And then you have this flaxseed. I don't have a problem for flax seeds if people don't have a problem with seeds. Some people do need to go off of seeds. There's a reason why people have problems with seeds, certainly an abundance of seeds. But if you're looking at like the offensiveness, like the physiological offensiveness, is that a term? It's a term in my space, in my world. How immunoreactive is it going to be? Flax seeds are one of the most well-tolerated as far as like irritation to the gut lining. Her question was specifically centered around the estrogenic aspects of flax seeds, or if, what's the deal on it. These flax seeds and other different plant compounds can act as mild phytoestrogens. This flax seeds are higher in lignans, these phytocompounds that act as a mild estrogenic effect on the body. So what does this mean? Does that mean they create estrogen dominance? Actually, quite the contrary. If you tolerate things like flax seeds and chia seeds and these other things, they actually, these lignans can bind to estrogen receptor sites. In theory, slightly lowering estrogen in the body for people that do have estrogen dominance. So things like seed cycling is something we've talked about on the show.
Yeah.
It's utilizing a lot of these mechanisms of action as far as the concept is concerned. And the fiber content that flax seeds provide help flush out through the gut microbiome and binding to estrogen in the gut as well and clearing it out. So just because you're eating something that has a mild phytoestrogenic effect in the body does not equate to estrogen dominance. If anything, it's the opposite. If you're looking at the fiber flushing aspect of the flax seeds and the estrogen, the lignin estrogen receptor site binding aspect of sort of blocking estrogen in the body a bit, and mildly. We're not talking about a massive suppressions of pathways. We are talking about a mild modulation at best. Because how much flax seeds are you really going to be getting?
What is the consumption that these people are worried about? Are you getting 3 bags a day?
Yeah. So you'd be getting this like therapeutic, having spoons of these in a smoothie or spoons of these in a pudding or whatever. Or eating them off of a spoon. That's like a higher dose. I don't know how much flax seeds they're actually utilizing.
I mean, let's just say you take a normal serving size of 10 to 12 chips.
You're not getting a therapeutic dose.
You're not even getting a spoonful at that point.
And who's having 10 to 12 of those chips anyways?
Okay.
I mean,
I might.
Yeah. Only 10 to 12?
Of those chips?
No.
Oh, no, I'm having...
No, that's what I mean. Like a serving size is a slight suggestion for the Westerner.
Please, Siete, those things come in at Costco in bulk. I'm having more than that.
Yeah.
Even if you eat a whole bag, it's not like
Maybe
a pudding.
I wouldn't be worried about it.
Teaspoons or something.
I wouldn't be worried about it. And again, like you said, it has a regulating
and it's one of many ingredients.
So, and the fiber itself is, again, as long as you're digestively handling these things okay, I don't really see
and let me give you the flip side pushback a bit. I don't do well with lots of nuts and seeds. I don't. There's people that
But that's not the phytoestrogen.
It has nothing to do with the lignin compounds. None of it.
Right.
It has to do with just the fact that they're plant babies, and nature, Mother Earth, likes to protect her plant babies with extra nutrients. But I can eat Siete chips with no problem because I'm not like overdoing it.
Yeah.
I'm just
Right.
having some random
You're having
amount-
10 to 12.
10 to 12 because I'm a good.
I don't even know if that's
I'm
the
a good
actual
rule
serving
follower
size.
with serving size.
I try to be. All
I'm
right.
not. It was a joke, guys. I'm not. I'm gonna
No.
eat the whole dang bag.
Yeah. Me and chips, we're good friends.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
goodness.
love
Siete chips.
So yeah, not a big deal as far as the lignin compound is concerned.
Yeah.
I'm again, I love Siete.
I think it's a great alternative.
It's a great alternative, especially when you have kids that are patients or children you're trying to make adjustments to. They
Yeah.
have a lot of great things. And from what I have seen so far from the sale of their company has not compromised.
Yeah.
In my opinion. All right. You ready for the next one?
Let's go.
Yes.
This is a speak pipe. So we're going to hear from Hannah on speak pipe.
We recently built a house and moved into it. However, after moving into it, we found out that we have high levels of radon. We're currently monitoring the levels and we will be getting stuff done to make it to where the radon isn't as high in the house. But I wanted to know, is there anything for my health and my kids' health and my husband's health we should be doing to cancel out some of the radon or just protect ourselves?
Okay, this is a great question. It's something that we have never covered.
Recently,
Oh,
So sorry.
back.
She's back. Hannah is back. I went to
Hannah's
hit
back.
pause and I accidentally hit play.
wait, her name's Hannah?
Yeah.
Well, didn't I call the first person Hannah?
Heather.
Heather.
Wow, you-
all these
you
names.
are really-
Hannah, Hillary.
And
Okay, I have to
Heather.
meet these people. Hannah, Hillary. We're good.
yeah, but there is no Heather. It's,
Who's Heather? Who's Heather? Right. Okay. Sorry, guys. Once I see someone's face,
you're very good
it's
at remembering.
I will remember you.
You remembered
like
a
an
patient
elephant.
from 11 years ago the other day.
Who was it?
It was someone
was
that
so-
sent me an email.
And I
you
was like,
remember-
oh, 2009. She's like, she lives in this part of Nebraska. I knew.
Wow.
But if I don't see your face, I think my brain is maxed
But
up
your
with names.
voice on SpeakPipe will be very
We will
helpful.
It'll help me.
Remember.
It'll help me. It'll help me. Anyway, so radon. What's the deal with radon? Is it scary? Is it something you should fear? Is it something to worry about? Radon is a problem. It's the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. It is an odorless gas that is noxious to the human. It's poisonous, toxic to the human body, and it comes from the soil and the sort of the breaking down of uranium within the soil that can leak through cracks of the foundation or walls of the home and be sort of this low, slow breeder of radioactivity, inflammation, oxidative stress in the body, which is why it's so important for her to get that remediated, and she's doing that appropriately to deal with this sort of biotoxin, if you will. We've never really labeled it as a biotoxin, but it is.
Yeah.
It's like an earth toxin that is natural, but is toxic to the human body in higher levels over time, certainly. So step number one is remove the source, ventilate. You need to be not exposed to that as much as you can. We have telehealth patients move out of their house because of mold or radon or some environmental toxin within their home for a time if it is that bad. So by all means, take proper precaution and be very serious about that. So what does the science show that decreases this oxidative stress, specifically radioactive oxidative stress from radon or something akin to that? Step number one, as far as the tips I would give, is increase antioxidant polyphenol-rich foods within your diet. So think berries and green tea, these sort of colorful fruits are really important, and colorful drinks like green tea, even yerba mate tea.
Or Live 120 from the Longevity RX.
Live 120 is for this. It is like a polyphenol, ellagic acid, flavonoid-rich, antioxidant-rich formula. That was not planned. There's a 2025 mouse study tested a natural antioxidant blend similar to Live 120 during high radon exposure, and apply that to any other sort of environmental toxin that's going to drive oxidative stress. That's what they were measuring, is oxidative stress. And they saw significant decreasers of oxidative stress when they increased polyphenols and antioxidants within their diet. Step number two, melatonin. supplementation, which I thought was really interesting here, but the mechanism of action is really interesting. This MDA compound, which works upon the same sort of pathway as melatonin. Melatonin is an antioxidant that brings down this MDA compound, which is a pro-oxidative stress marker. And it was a rat study, so it has limitations to it, but it found that melatonin supplementation significantly reduced the MDA, this peroxidation of polyunsaturated fatty acids. So things like our cells are filled with, they're lined with these polyunsaturated fatty acids. Our body needs it on a cellular health standpoint, polyunsaturated fatty acids, which is why the argument is against limiting seed oils and these rancid polyunsaturated fatty acids or these oxidated polyunsaturated PUFAs, because of this same concept, because it's sort of a low, slow irritation from a cellular health and inflammatory oxidation standpoint. Anyways, MDA is this oxidative marker that will spike because of radiation exposure. And they saw significant, it was a 6-hour radon exposure in these rats. And we saw, the researchers saw an MDA, this oxidation marker, drop from 80 to 20 to 30. So pretty significant of reducing oxidative stress. So melatonin supplementation would be another one, and we utilize it clinically. It's kind of, I would say, maybe a little bit controversial. I think people are afraid of it shutting down the pituitary gland and sort of the hypothalamic pituitary axis. Serotonin is actually converted into melatonin. Most of that's in the gut. So a lot of what we're doing is optimizing that gut-brain axis and the sleep-wake cycle. We don't see a problem with it clinically when it's used appropriately with high-quality sourcing.
Yeah, and monitoring. We're monitoring patients to make sure it's appropriate, that it's working for them, working the way that it should. And then, like in this particular case, we're talking about a short-term use as well, because once the radon's corrected,
it's not something you have to be on
don't need
forever.
all of this ongoing support.
Yep.
Spirulina intake would be another one. There was a 2015 study showed spirulina significantly improved COPD symptoms, which that's what radon is impacting our lungs. Via antioxidant activity. So it was significant antioxidant activity. And up on that same line, what's one of the main compounds within spirulina? Chlorophyll. There were other studies that looked at chlorophyll-rich foods. Significantly had a binding effect to carcinogens, interfering with absorption and reducing oxidative damage from radiation, and protecting against these radiations. Spirulina and chlorophyll-rich foods as a whole seems to have a standout effect on the body. Glutathione-boosting foods, like a significant role. Like think sulforaphane, things like broccoli sprouts, things like cruciferous vegetables. Even if you tolerate nuts and seeds, selenium-rich foods like Brazil nuts, you don't even need that many, like one or two.
Yeah, well, I'd say just a couple.
Yeah, soaked, sprouted Brazil nuts, getting selenium, getting sulfur-rich compounds, supplementing with a liposomal.
The Art of Being Well, that's why we have a liposomal glutathione.
Yeah, the Art of Being Well line has a liposomal glutathione that we utilize with telehealth patients a lot. But 2004 study found elevated glutathione levels protect cells against cancers, including lung, by aiding detoxification, apoptosis, or cell death. And then vitamin C supplementation. There's pretty ample amounts of studies looking at, there's a 2016 gerbil study, went from rats to mites to gerbils, showed that 5 milligrams of vitamin C increased SOD, which is superoxide dismutase. It's like a master antioxidant that you want to increase to decrease oxidative stress, and it increased glutathione, which we know is a precursor to supporting that. So remove source, remove yourself from the situation, get that issue remediated in your house, and then lean into these sort of protective tools within your toolbox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that there's so many foundational things too. You're talking about the whole food sources. And then again, sometimes we do have to do more therapeutic with supplements, or if someone can't, handle some of those food things, maybe there's some gut related issues or other things going on too. So, but I think that those are all great places to start, and, making sure that we're checking in on the place that we're spending the most time in, right? I think that's...
Yeah. If you can lean into microalgae and algae, most of this stuff is foods, like increasing berries and phytonutrients. and they all have beneficial effect. And then like maybe layer in just a Liv 120 and a liposomal glutathione, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah. I also, I mean, it's really important to optimize other areas of recovery. Sleep is a major thing.
Yeah.
Like it's so important. So sometimes we get really caught up in like the next best, greatest thing to do, but sometimes it's the simple things that our body needs for restoration.
It's good.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
All right. So I have a question that's from Angie. Okay.
Angie.
Not a Heather, but an Angie.
Heather? Where's Heather?
We'll just start adding an H in front of it. It'll be Angie, everybody.
All right. This is from Angie, and she said, I'm hoping you can address this in one of your Ask Me Anything podcast episodes.
We are.
Yeah.
It'd be better if it was Big Pipe, Angie.
We love you. All right. She said, I've recently heard there are several benefits to nicotine patches. How do you feel about that? I've been using 3.5 milligram patches. I cut a 7 milligram patch in half every day except weekends for about a month now. I've noticed increases in my mood, and something I completely did not expect is that a wart I've had for at least 10 years is almost completely gone. My 18-year-old son has Tourette's, and I've started him on the 3.5 milligram patches as well. So far, he's noticed the pain in his shoulders from his tics has reduced quite a bit. I'm excited for these things, but I don't want to continue if they're addictive and or cause cancer. I would love to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay, so microdosing nicotine. Is it good? Is it something I'd recommend? Or are you just rebranding a nicotine addiction? What's our take on it? Okay, so we have experience with this clinically. We utilize microdosing for certain instances, but let's talk about the pros and the cons. So let me be very clear. So what's the science say first? Improved attention and focus. There were studies looking at these low doses, like 1 to 5 milligrams, small amounts, enhancing alertness and information processing by activating, what's the pathway? Acetylcholine receptors. That's the neurotransmitter that you need for improved focus, improved alertness and energy throughout the day. So this was a study, it was a double-blind study at Duke University, found that 7 milligrams, a little bit higher, of transdermal nicotine decreased emission errors and improved reaction time variance in normal adults. So improving acuity and focus and productivity, I guess you could say. Another study looking at enhanced memory stimulates the release of things like acetylcholine, dopamine, serotonin, really needed for optimal mood regulation, right? Short-term and working memory formation, a meta-analysis of 41 double-blind placebo-controlled studies from 1994 to 2008 by the National Institute of Drug Abuse confirmed significant positive effects on memory and response time. Reduced anxiety and mood improvement. Other studies looking at these low doses of low concentrations of nicotine, reducing anxiety, improving mood support. And then another study that I saw was that its ability to boost metabolism through adrenaline, actually enhancing metabolic function. Some of these were done on nicotine chewing gum.
Ugh.
I think there's a fine line between something that's clean and pure and looking at the active ingredients and the science around the active ingredient and what's the purest way to get that active ingredient.
Right.
And I wouldn't be for like someone chewing some like gum that has artificial sugars or colors or sweeteners or sugar. I wouldn't be for that. But we have good success with troches.
Yes.
I've seen good success with sprays. For people, how do we use it clinically for telehealth patients? Brain fog and fatigue, mainly that's what it is. Mm-hmm. As sort of a neurotropic-like effect on the body. It is a neurotropic. It is a neurotropic for people that have brain fog and fatigue while we're healing with why they have the brain fog and fatigue in the first place. It can very easily, let me give you the dark side of microdosing nicotine. I know many people within the health and wellness space that overdo this stuff.
Yes.
They are like microdosing and microdosing and microdosing and microdosing and microdosing. At a certain point, it's not microdosing.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just telling yourself it is. And it's an addiction disguised as a wellness practice.
Right.
That's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And you can church it up, as we say, to make it seem like it's not what it is. But I know people that walk through the day and they're constantly just spraying and they're like, what?
Yeah.
This is not good use.
Right.
You are just like whitewashing something that is turning into an addiction.
Yes.
So that's the downside of it. It can be abused. It can be overused.
Sure.
So if you're using it as a crutch, if you're using it long term without dealing with why you have the problem in the first place, so like mold toxicity or chronic Lyme or vagal nerve issues or whatever we're looking to heal and optimize and rehab over time, in the short term, I think it has some clinical use. Long term, as like a weird crutch, like I don't think it has its place in somebody that's interested in health. Mental health and physical health.
Yeah, you can't overcome burning the candlestick at both ends by,
Yeah.
quote, microdosing nicotine and then calling it in the name of health. And then saying, well, I only need 5 hours or 4 hours of sleep a night. And it's like, do you, or is this really an issue that you're not willing to address just yet?
Yeah. And I think it's a great tool to get your head above water. I think, again, for the brain fog, the fatigue, I mean, we've had a lot of great success with it. But what is
long COVID patients, Lyme
long COVID
patients?
one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also would ask you, Angie, what is at the root as to why that's needed in the first place?
She mentioned her son with autism, and it's
Yeah,
like,
it was Tourette's.
Oh, Tourette's.
Yeah.
Sorry. But like that to me, I'm like, okay, is there something neurological? Is there some sort of inflammatory issue?
Yeah, I mean,
like,
most of those issues have a Tourette's and autism spectrum
yeah.
both have a
Right.
neuroinflammatory component.
Right.
And many of them have sort of an autoimmune inflammatory component. So it's
it
certainly...
makes sense why it's helping.
It makes sense why
Exactly.
it's helping, yeah. When you understand the mechanism of action of increasing circulation and working on these neurotransmitter pathways, I could see it being helpful for
Yeah.
these people. But it should be a both and, not either or. Deal with the root
Yeah.
cause of the problem and then maybe use it in the short term appropriately.
Yeah, I would say short term is the key word there. I mean, we really think pulsating it like in any type of, and again, I think it just should, I think it's one of those tools that really should be monitored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really should be.
Yeah,
You know,
and there's many other neurotropics out there
Right.
that you don't need nicotine. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's another neurotropic.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, creatine dosed a bit higher that's been shown to improve cognitive function that doesn't
Yeah.
have an addictive quality to it.
Phosphatidylcholine.
Phosphatidylcholine.
CoQ10,
L-theanine, lion's mane. I mean, some of these functional mushrooms that I talked about in Live 120, they have a neurotropic-like effect.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So
Love
we're
it.
not anti it, but you
We
should
love
be
it.
monitoring, and you should be asking yourself hard questions as to why you needed it.
Awesome. Ready for the last question?
yeah.
This is from, this is an anonymous question.
Oh.
Okay. So also not Heather.
Dang it. Heather, there's always next time.
We're going to get like 15 questions from different Heathers, and I'm so
all the Heathers
excited.
will rise up.
But they better be on SpeakPipe. No, I'm just kidding. We love you all. Okay, here we go.
Hello, Dr. Will Cole and team. I had just listened to the episode that you had with the couple who make the sparkling hemp CBD full spectrum seltzer drinks. And I know that you obviously promote them, you believe in them just from hearing to the interview. But I was just curious on your thoughts about the hemp-derived THC, I guess, like on our brains. I also listened to Dr. Amen, and he just speaks so highly that THC and all that is very bad for our brains. And I'm very curious and interested in this product, but just trying to find out your thoughts on the connection there with the THC being in there, that it's not just a CBD product. Look forward to getting a response. Thank you.
That is how you do SpeakPipe. Thank you, Angie. Right?
Anonymous.
Oh, anonymous. Guys.
I'd like to say that this is out of the norm, but it's not.
I don't see your face.
If you would also
love
like
this.
to submit a picture.
Oh my gosh,
Actually,
guys. I'm
we-
not going to cut that out for the set. I'm
Yeah.
just like you.
We're going to need you to fly in and just be on the podcast.
Oh,
I
we
love
should
this.
do that
I
one
love
time.
Once my brain sticks to the SpeakPipe flow, I'll be cool.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me. I'm worried about me. You don't worry about me. Okay, so that's so funny. You said anonymous, and I'm like, Angie. It was the A. It was the A. Okay. All right, here's the deal. This is another thing. What's our hot take on microdosing THC? Is marijuana, THC, hemp, CBD? Like, what's the deal on it?
Yeah.
She's talking about the episode that I had with the founders of OHO. We are Oho on Instagram, but Oho is a great like sparkling seltzer that uses microdose of CBD, THC, and CBG, these sort of hemp-derived compounds that there's exciting science around it working on the endocannabinoid system, the ECS, which is the brain, the gut, the body is really rich with these endocannabinoid receptor sites, and it helps modulate our mood and the parasympathetic and brain function, immune function. There's lots of cool science around it that I have been a fan of and talking about for a long time, and I've talked about it in my book, In the Inflammation Spectrum. We talked about it a lot on drwillcool.com, so you can go and research that if you want. Anyways, we by the way, that episode, we recorded it when our air conditioning was out. It was like they were pros because it was like under these lights, and it was like
it was like so almost 90 degrees outside, and then in here it was humid.
It was better because they were English, and then I remembered, England, like
they're used to this.
Doesn't really use air conditioning very often. England, get it together. This is the 21st century, but in general, they live in America now. So I was like, they've been Americanized. They're probably going to think this is too hot. I was sweating just the idea of them sweating.
Yeah,
it was hot.
It was very hot.
Yes. Anyways, I digress. So what's the science say? Improved memory and cognitive function. Low doses of cannabis extract enhances brain function, brain performance, similar to microdosing of the nicotine. Mm-hmm. Enhanced relaxation and reduced stress. 1 to 5 milligrams promotes calming relaxation by interacting with these CB1 receptors, these cannabinoid receptors that the brain and the gut has. A 2025 review highlights its role in supporting a balanced state of mind without intoxication, without it being psychoactive.
Right.
You're not getting high at these low doses. Mood improvements and anxiety relief, better sleep and pain management, like improving insomnia issues and chronic pain reduction. That's a significant one for people. I mean, that's why they kind of go towards these sort of blends of CBD, CBG, and THC, right? These sort of hemp compounds because of their anti-inflammatory effect on the body. Increased creativity and productivity of these low doses of THC. So, what's this? My take on the science is that if it's done appropriately, very similar to the nicotine, microdosing nicotine, I think it has its place. And we're talking, like, the conversation was centered around alcohol alternatives, right? Alcohol alternatives versus someone having a neurotoxin and glamorizing it, waking up feeling miserable, and the science that shows even small amounts of alcohol is associated with smaller brain sizes, cumulatively over time, impacting a lot of things when it comes to our brain health, our gut health, a lot of other issues. These microdoses of THC and CBD, you don't need a lot of them.
Right.
And it really can be a needle mover for people in low doses. So I don't think it's a problem. I don't think they tend to be habit forming either at these small doses in the same way the nicotine has. Could it be for some people? Yeah.
Maybe.
They're sort of addicted to the feeling of unwinding and not dealing with maybe their stress and anxiety.
Right.
Or not dealing with some other issues. I could see that being an issue, using it as a crutch to some degree. But the average person, they're going to drink it. They're going to feel a little bit calmer and be fine. Mm-hmm. It's similar to, it's not the same thing. Let me not make it completely apples to apples, but some people are very, they have a strong response to the calming aspect of magnesium.
Right.
And I would say it's similar to that. No, that's not the perfect analogy, but I think that I would put it under the vein of, if it's a true microdose, that I would say it's just a calming effect similar to magnesium. It's not, you're not getting high. You're not getting the munchies. You're not going to be stoned. You're just having a microdose of these drinks. Dr. Amen is a friend of mine. I actually just texted him the other day about something. Dr. Amen, he's mainly talking about smoking. That's the population that they're looking for, the SPECT scans, the brain scans. It's predominantly people are smoking marijuana, chronic macro doses of marijuana. We're not talking about microdoses of like a liposomal THC in a seltzer. So I think that, and smoking has its whole other host of issues for the body, sort of the oxidative stress aspect of it, right? That's not the same thing with these extracts that are used within a seltzer like this. At the same point, like, you don't have to have it. I just wouldn't say it's not going to have the same brain. The science is not pointing to the fact that this is going to have the same deleterious aspect to the brain. Going back to nicotine real fast, I personally don't use nicotine. I have no need to. But something like this is like having sort of a neurotropic effect, a calming, unwinding effect. And I like a good drink, as we keep talking about here. I love a good beverage, a non-alcoholic beverage or a tea or whatever, a tonic, I like it. So it's something that I can get behind. I'm not having copious amounts of it, but one can to unwind, having that ritual that tastes good. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I look for, if they're a patient, we're talking about if we're monitoring a patient, some of the things we do have to look at is the mental and emotional component of it. And if that person's under a lot of stress, but they're not addressing the stress and they're using this to unwind, it's not that the drink is the problem or that the THC is the problem. It's they're not addressing why they're stressed in the first place. And they're not finding other ways to actually stimulate the body outside of that. And that for me is the question that I think I just said it the last one. You have to ask yourself, why are you using something and how are you using something? And is there accountability with those things, even healthy things? This is how orthorexia starts. You have the best of intentions, but then everything becomes an obsession or a fear. And we can do the opposite where we begin to lean into our foods and our drinks and our supplements to bring us the peace and the joy, the comfort, the relaxation that we need without ever just asking and searching inward. And I know that that's a much deeper conversation than this anonymous person is asking about. But to me, that's the question. It's like, well, you're obviously searching for an answer of whether or not this is something you can utilize in your arsenal, but why did you need it? What's going on? How long do you intend on using this? Is it something you're going to have every once in a while because you enjoy a good bevy and you want to like hang out that's something that's non-alcoholic and you want to feel like you're a part of a social situation? Or are you doing it because every night you're getting home and you're so stressed from work and you have to have this drink to help you relax? I think that begs a different response. And so on the surface level, absolutely something we use, something we're not against. We get into the whole quality component of things and making sure you're getting from somewhere good. We tend to lean towards more like tinctures and drinks and things of that because one, you want to get away from as many edibles and unnecessary fillers and sugars. You definitely don't want to smoke for a whole slew of different reasons. It's a cash crop. It's very heavily sprayed with pesticides. And so you just have to be very cognizant.
Organic's important.
Organic is very important. Quality is something that you have to think about when you're using this. And so for me, I like talking about these things, but I also like to challenge people to think differently. Because if this was my family, if this was my friend, if this was my patient, what would I talk to them about? And I would say, well, why do you feel like you have to have this every night? Or is this something that you're using just for general support? Yeah. Because you don't want the emotional addiction either. Because we have the physiological addictions and then there's the mental and emotional addiction that we become reliant on things that we really should be seeking to be released from.
Yeah. I think the great thing about this conversation, even just in general today, is that there's so many tools out there. There's so many different things that can be utilized to benefit your health. But Andrea, I love what you're saying there too, is that there needs to be deeper conversations and we need to make sure that we're always aiming to get at the root, right? Because a lot of times too, with the people that we're working with, we got to start with the foundational things first and other areas first before we can even get to tools like this. Like, we have a lot of people that come in and say, oh, I've been using this, or, hey, I really want to try this. And sometimes we even have to say, let's wait. These things are great things, but let's just wait. We got to get a baseline here first. And I wonder sometimes if we can get in the habit of just trying anything to get that relief to where, which again, it may help. And that's like I said, I love this conversation because it's just made clear how many tools are out there that can actually be beneficial, that have research and science that are behind them, that we should be more open to, right? I think we can become a little myopic with what we're willing to be open and not to, but again, I think that there's bigger conversations, and so I love that you're just bringing that up and bringing that to light. So
yeah. And this is like not marketed to, for talking about this drink, Oho company. Yeah. They're not marketed as like a therapeutic. They're like,
it's casual.
They're in the casual alcohol alternative, better for you.
Just like a recess drink or something that has,
and I love it. I
other adaptogens.
These are great things to unwind. And that's why I was even talking about like the Live 120. I love a fun, casual beverage that I know is going to make me feel good. That, and again, it's not bringing it's not like I'm dependent on that to bring joy to my life. Right.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay to be like, I just want something casual that's fun, that's different, that also makes me feel good. That's the whole point behind these things too, that I know I'm investing in my health. I'm investing in what I put in my body, and it's okay to look for great tools that help.
Yeah.
100%.
I like, if you're looking for an alcohol alternative mocktail that's not THC or hemp derived, I love Kin Euphorics. If you're looking for a THC free, neurotropic, botanical, adaptogenic option that's still like a mocktail, that's still like an alcohol alternative, Kin Euphorics. We had Jen Batchelor on the podcast. You were in the room.
I was. They're delicious.
When we recorded that.
I got to peripherally be there and get to try these drinks, even though I wasn't on the podcast, and they're very good. I like them a lot.
And again, the delivery system, the bioavailability, they can do so much today in the drink space with the delivery systems. You're not just making it look good on a label and being like X milligrams of this for this, but actually what's the science of, is this doing what it is it actually usable to the body?
Yeah. Which
Kin Euphorics is really on top of it with the deliverability. OHO is really on top of it with the deliverability and bioavailability. So I think these have their place, right?
Yeah. I love a good bevy.
All right. Okay, I'm not going to say that, but I'm not going to. Is that the term?
Bevy.
Bevy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You like a good bevy.
You love a bevy.
No, guys.
Just as much as you love a Heather.
This is Heather, yes, whoever you are out there, I wish you would ask a question.
This episode is dedicated to you.
Heather.
All Heathers, nationwide.
You don't listen to the podcast apparently, but I'm thinking of you. Anyways, is that it?
That's it. That's all we got
guys.
for today.
If you want to learn more about our clinical work, the telehealth center, with the wait list for at least at the time of recording, the wait list for our concierge is now open. At drwillcole.com. Head to the Become a Patient page.
You want to see us, hang out with us.
Yeah, all that stuff. We'll see you next time on the podcast.